And welcome back to Pokemon Teams videos. Today's comes to us from Wade Wilson, who asked the question, what is the Star Spangled Man Captain America's Pokemon team? And, it's kind of fitting that he had the end of the Falcon Winter Soldier, now dubbed Captain America and Winter Soldier. And so it's like, it works, it all fits. So Captain America's Pokemon team. Obviously, Captain America has existed through the comics for decades at this point. Getting close to centuries, honestly, when you think about time frames. It'll still be a while, but before we actually hit the full century. But as time progresses, I'll be alive when it hits a century. I know that. But yeah, so when I thought about this, I'm like, okay, obviously I can't look at just the movie, because frankly, just the movie, that's not going to work. Well, I mean, it could work, but no, we got to look at the comics and everything in between. So let's just get into this. So first and foremost, what do we think of when we think of Captain America? Well, we think of A, his shield, and B, the fact that he is an American icon. He is, Captain America. So you need a Pokemon that kind of represents the red, white, and blue. And the American bald eagle is kind of our national bird. So a Braviary, red, white, and blue on there, that was a given. I feel like that was 100% a given. It's a bald eagle Pokemon. It's also a very powerful Pokemon, too. It just made the most sense to me that that would be his Pokemon. One of his Pokemon, anyway, to represent the actual Star Spangled Banner. But the other thing we think of when we think of Captain America is his shield. Now, there's a sword Pokemon, but there is not a shield Pokemon. At least in the sense that it is a sentient shield. But there are Pokemon who can or are shields to some degree. So there are two I put on his team when looking through it. The first one is very much more akin to Captain America in the sense that he used the shield. And that's Chesnaught, particularly because he has his shield technique, Spiky Shield. He's able to literally create a shield that blocks an attack, and it can block pretty much any attack that comes towards him. Unless it's like a type immune attack, like a ghost attack. He can block any physical attack. I think that's the better way to put it, as far as I know. It can block any physical attack. Add on the fact, too, that Chesnaught is a fighting type, which fits with Captain America, who is primarily a physical fighter. Add on also the fact that Chesnaught is also based off a Paladin. It's a Pokemon that protects other Pokemon. Hence, Cap is a soldier who, he's Captain America. His job is to protect people, not just Americans, but people in general. So I think Chesnaught, unpopular opinion, was my favorite of the Kalos starters. Now, the only thing I don't like is the color, palette of it. Not even palette, the color design of it. Like, there's too much white on Chesnaught. His shell should not have been white. His underside could have been white, but his shell should not have been white. I think his shell honestly should have been either a darker green or another color. But anyway, I actually really like Chesnaught. I think Quilladin sucks. Even all of it, Quilladin sucks as a mid-stage Pokemon. Like, that just does not look good at all. But Chesnaught is pretty cool in my opinion. But then we had another, I'm like, okay, there is another shield Pokemon that we have to talk about. And that is the shield Pokemon Shieldon. It's a little baby Triceratops type Pokemon that has a shield for a face. And I actually like this. Now, I didn't use Bastiodon because Bastiodon isn't really a shield so much as like a battering ram. Bastiodon, it is literally something that can just take beasts. Now, that is kind of shield-like, but Shieldon actually has shield in its name. Add on to the fact, too, that A, its head is shaped definitely a lot closer to Cap's shield than Bastiodon's head is. But B, we also have to, and we have another Pokemon coming up in just a second that represents this. We also have to look at Steve throughout his life. So we also have to look at Steve prior to being Captain America. And when he was Captain America, he was a wimp. Now, don't get me wrong, Shieldons aren't necessarily wimps, per se. But Shieldon is a weaker Pokemon. It is a first-stage Pokemon. Therefore, it is on the weaker side compared to most of the other guys on this list. So, on that note, in that regard, because Shieldon is a shield-based Pokemon, and it's a first-stage Pokemon making it weaker, then, yeah, it makes sense to me why we would have him there. But another Pokemon that makes just absolute sense to me why he would be here to represent young Steve is Tyrogue. Tyrogue obviously can evolve into Hitmontop, Hitmonlee, or Hitmonchan depending on its stats. So it gets an amazing buff once it hits a certain level. But before then, it is not a very strong Pokemon, but it is very much willing to take on stronger opponents, just rush into battle to help people, much like Steve does, even as a youth. So Tyrogue, I think, for its potential, but its weaker physique compared to other Pokemon, I think made 100% sense to have on the team. These last two are more... One is definitely more because of the personality. And the other is because I did need the 6th slot, and I felt this Pokemon did fit for the 6th slot, and I'll explain why. So for the personality aspect of it, we have Gallade. Now, Gallade, you might be thinking, well, it's a fighting psychic type. How does that work out? And it's got swords on its arms. So to be fair, you're right in that regard. However, what Gallade really is, especially when you look at Mega Gallade, it's a prince. It's a chivalrous prince, almost like a chivalrous knight. Similar to Chesnaught, actually. And it will protect its trainer and will protect other Pokemon and Gardevoir with its life. It'll fight to the very end. It is a heroic Pokemon, and that is what Steve Rogers is. He's a hero who fights for others no matter what. So then that really just brings the last Pokemon into the fray here. And this one is kind of a combination of reasons. And that is Lucario. So while it doesn't have any red in there, it's definitely white and blue. And if you wanted to, you could probably make an argument. You could wear some red on there. But it's a fighting steel type. Hence the reason for the shield being incorporated in there to some degree. Well, it doesn't have a shield per se. It does have the spikes on its hands. It's also a Pokemon that is often displayed as being a very heroic Pokemon. It often going out its way to help others. We've seen in the Lucario movie that it's very much in that vein. Furthermore, it's a Pokemon that it's a final evolution, but it's not overly powerful. I mean, it's a powerful Pokemon, and its aura abilities aren't really tailored to Cap. But it is a Pokemon that, in fact, I haven't looked up. I don't look stats up too much, but it does make sense to me. Especially if it makes sense why I'll look up stats, I'll look up stats. Let me just be sure. I know Lucario does not fall into the pseudo-legendary qualification, but it does have a relatively good stat line overall. People love using Lucario, particularly Mega Lucario. Let me see here. So its base stat total for Lucario is, we're almost there, 525. So it's actually, even the starters are overall stronger naturally than Lucario is. Surprisingly, even, Lucario's special attack, unless I'm looking at Mega Lucario's stats, which I am not. Okay, good. Surprisingly, even Lucario's its attack and special attack are its strongest suits, with speed coming in second. And that really makes sense. Steve's best traits are his physical strength as a super soldier, his durability thanks to the shield, and being quick on his feet to get to danger in time. His special defenses are also decent, but honestly, it's kind of funny. It's like most starters have a better stat total, base-wise, overall, than Lucario does, which I just find interesting. But Lucario, honestly, you look at Lucario, you think, yeah, that's a Pokemon Cap would have. It fits Cap's iron. I mean, when you look at the balancing of this team too, it's very heavy on the fighting side. Obviously, you got Tyrogue, you got Gallade, you got Lucario, you got Chesnaught. That's 4 fighting types. Now, granted, only one of them is a pure fighting type. The others have Psychic, Steel, and Grass in there. You have a normal flying type in Braviary, and you have I believe Shieldon is just a pure Steel type, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let me check that real quick. Because I know it's Steel. In fact, I know it turns into Steel. But I'm actually very curious on that now I say it out loud. What is Shieldon and Rampardos? There we go. Shieldon, I believe Shieldon, yeah, okay, it's a Rock Steel type. So you got a Rock Steel type. So, I mean, unfortunately, a high-powered Psychic type's going to plow through this team. But that would be expected, that Steve could not handle someone with psychic abilities. So it makes perfect sense when I think about it. And he's still got a lot of durability and fighting experience on his team. I have no doubt this would be a pretty solid team overall. Maybe one day when I go through some of the games, I'll try to actually make the teams I've made for these guys and go from there and see how these teams actually play out. I actually think that'd be a lot of fun. I'd have to go through all my teams again, but I think that'd be a lot of fun to make the team for the character and then try to play that team in the game. I think that'd be kind of cool. Granted, I think I would have to probably be playing. I'd probably have to be playing the Gen 6. I'd have to be playing Pokemon. At least I have Y. Sorry, Pokemon Y. And I probably wouldn't be able to have all of these. I'd have to probably find substitutes. But ultimately, I mean, yeah, I could figure out a way to play this team overall, especially in Gen 6. Gen 6, I could probably almost make this team possible. Because obviously Chestnut would be a starter. You can find Ralts in the wild. You can find Relos in like some of the earliest routes. I don't know if you can find Tyrogues, though, or Shieldons. And I'm pretty sure you can find Rufflets or Braviaries. So, yeah, I don't know about those bottom two, so I'd have to probably switch them out for another Pokemon. But, yeah, I didn't even consider doing that, but that actually sounds like a lot of fun. If I did playthroughs, that would probably be my playthroughs, like Captain America team Pokemon. Or, I mean, and don't get me wrong, you can also just do the common thing of trading from games to have that team from the start, or at least having the base form of that team from the start, and then get to that team ultimately. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea in my mind. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Mr. Steve Rogers, Captain America's team. Let me know in the comments below if you like this team, or would you do something different for this team? I'd be interested to hear what the different ideas for the team would be. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.